moving when you're talking on here, then you're good. And same thing here.
Test, test. Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first Sarah Lawrence Gryphons women's basketball game of the calendar year 2026. We have an intriguing matchup on our hands here. On the one hand, we have our Sarah Lawrence Gryphons, who are truly on a historic run. And I'm prone to hyperbole and exaggeration, but in this case, it is truly a historic run. In previous seasons, Sarah Lawrence has never won more than 6 games. As it stands, before the break, Sarah Lawrence had already won 7. They're on a 5-game winning streak. But on the other hand, we have Mount St. Vincent, a team that won the conference 2 years ago. Coach won Coach of the Year. Last year, they upset Manhattanville in the playoffs. This year, however, they're struggling. They're 2-8, 1-5 in the conference, not looking their former self. And in the past, these two have matched up 14 times. Sarah Lawrence hasn't won a single game. This looks like the best opportunity to win their first game against Mount St. Vincent, so we tip off. Kennedy gets the ball to the wing. McLean to Angeles. Surveying the court, giving it back to McLean. Lahone waving at her teammate. Straight pass to Kennedy. Gabby's right there. Hudson going for the long pass. It's intercepted by Lahone, though, who dribbles it right back up. Looking for a low post pass to Green. Goes back to the wing and back to the top with Kennedy. St. Vincent looking to set up their play. Lahone on the wing. Back to McLean. Dribble, drive. Lahone lines one up. Misses this three. It's a little short, but McLean with a tough rebound. One of the shortest players on the court gets the rebound and gets the ball right back. Dribble drive. She dribbles it out of bounds, and it's Griffin's ball. Number 25, Lahone, has only shot 3 3-pointers before today's game. That's her 4th 3-pointer. She's now 2 for 4 on the season. Ing Stewart on the wing. Looking at a high trap. Quick passing to Gabby. Little floater. It's a bit short, but Jade Ing Stewart is right there to recover the ball. Terrio goes up, and it's good. For the first points of the game, the Griffins take a 2-point lead. McLean dribbling, looking for the pass to Kennedy. It gets there. The Griffins bench bringing some energy. Coach Martin Rather saying the key to this game is coming out with energy. He wants to play fast. He wants to push the ball. He said the first team to 70 points wins the game. They already got 2 on the board. Green looking for a shot, but Dortch with the block. And that's a shot clock violation. Great defense by the Griffins there to hold off St. Vincent. Making sure they have the right matchups. Here we go. Hudson to Coughlin. Tight defense from McLean. Incisive passing to Terrio. 1, 2, 3, there you go. Terrio, 4 points on the board already. A quick one. Griffins now coming with the press. Trying to trap, but Angeles dribbles it right over the halfway line. Lahone now in the low post. Fight for the ball. And they call a jump, and that's going to the Griffins. Griffins lost the opening tip, so now the possession arrow is in their favor. Hudson dribbling up the ball. Now St. Vincent trying to bring some energy from the bench. Ing Stewart thinking about it. She launches it, and she drains it. It's a 3 from Ing Stewart. 7-zip out of nowhere. And you know, this Griffins team, they love to score. They are ranked, I believe, 18th in offensive efficiency in the entire division. As Kennedy gets fouled as she goes up, she'll shoot 2. She has the opportunity to get the first points for the Dolphins. And as I was saying, the Gryphons are averaging 70 points a game. Of course, the coach would love to see even better defense as well because they give up many points as well. But here we go. Dortch with the rebound. Kennedy goes 0 for 2 from the line. Dolphins still scoreless. Hudson setting up the play. Goes to Ing Stewart on the wing. Pick and roll with Terrio. Little jab step, little post move. Back to the top, back to the wing. Gabby drives into McLean. McLean clatters to the ground. And the refs call an offensive foul, but McLean looks to be hurt, although she got up, which we love to see, on her own strength, just grabbing to her stomach. That was a hard hit. As now Escobiñas comes into the game. Escobiñas, a great three-point shooter. She seemed to get hurt at the end of the last game. She didn't start this game, but she's now subbed in. Gryphons keeping the press on. McLean dribbling the ball up, gets it to Lihone, who slows it down. Kennedy looking to McLean. Back to Lihone. They're looking for that inside pass, but the Gryphons are covering it. Kennedy with a long 2, and it's good. Dolphins get the first points of the game by way of Grace Kennedy. Grace Kennedy, also a soccer player for the Dolphins. Two-sport athlete. These Gryphons look to respond. Coughlin gets the screen from Dortch. Hits a long-range jumper, doesn't fall, but Terrio gets a rebound. That one also doesn't fall, but Dortch is right there. That one also doesn't fall. You'd think 4 times is enough. Terrio gets it to drop, but it also looks like Kennedy is on the floor. Coach is looking at her, hoping she's okay. She's walking it off, looking to have a bit of a limp there. Hopefully she can return to the game. You never like to see a player get hurt. Gryphons now taking off the press. Gryphons love to press, but coach saying a 7-point lead right now is good. And seeing and asking the Dolphins whether they can beat him on the half court. Terrio getting the screen from Green. Burnett getting the screen from Green. Green now with the ball. Goes up, but before she goes up, she traveled, shuffled the feet, and it's Gryphons' ball. Madison to inbound. Almost halfway through the first quarter, Gryphons with a 7-point lead. Hudson gets a screen from Stevens, gets another screen from Dortch. They call an off-ball foul, offensive foul, and possession goes to the Dolphins. Gryphons back in their press. McLean gives the ball back to Escobiñas, who goes wide to Burnett. Back to Escobiñas, now on the wing. McLean looking for the inside pass to Green. Green does not go up immediately, takes a couple of dribbles, then goes up. It's short, and Terrio on the quick rebound to Hudson. Oh, she loves to be on fast break. She loves it up, and somehow it drops. And 1 from Hudson. That's a tough bucket. Hudson, who had a career game against St. Joe's Brooklyn, the last game the Gryphons played, she had a game-high 24 points. Looking to recreate that magic here. Misses the extra, free throws it, rolls out. Escobiñas now pushing the ball. Guarded by Hudson. Madison on Burnett. Now Coughlin on Burnett, who spins away, goes back to Madison. Green looking for the post move. Doesn't quite get it. It's a straight pass. And that's a gift for the Gryphons. great post defense by Terrio. We know her for her offense. She's averaging 17 points a game, if you can believe it. But she held her ground against Nylea Green there. Made sure she couldn't go up, stayed vertical, didn't foul. And Green was forced to throw the ball away. It's a hard screen by Stevens. The ref sees it and calls an offensive foul. That's a third offensive foul in only 6 minutes of play. Leading to fewer possessions for the Gryphons, who are up by 9. Quick pass up the court to Lejon. And Escobiñas slows it down. Pass the ball to Morocco. She likes to shoot the three, and that's exactly why she likes to shoot it, because she drains it. Cut the lead to 6. Gryphons looking to extend the lead. Gabby goes up with a fadeaway. Oh, that's pure. That is talent and hard work. In end result, finesse move. Burnett launching one. High arc, a little too strong. Coffin with the rebound. And Gryphons are looking to push the ball. Hudson surveying the court. Finds Madison. She likes to shoot the three. A little too strong on that one. Escobiñas with the rebound. Looks like Dolphins want to push the ball, but they're slowing it down again. That is typical Dolphins basketball. They will survey the court, look if they can go quick, but often they choose to go slow. They like their half-court sets. It goes right back to Morocco, who drains another from the same spot. Why not? Cutting the lead to 5. Morocco 2 for 2 from the three-point land. Here we go. Terrio at the top of the key to Coughlin on the wing. He drives, goes up. Refs say it was all ball. As Coughlin goes to the ground, Lejon now pushing it. Escobiñas now on the wing. Screen from Lejon. Ball goes to Burnett on the other side. To Henry at the low post. A little too strong, but there's nobody to rebound for the Gryphons. And the only way to get to the ball was to foul. And now Lejon will go up for 2. With an opportunity to cut the lead to 3. Lejon is an impressive 90% from the free throw line. You don't see that every day. There you go. She drains the first. Same routine, same focus. And she drains the second. And all of a sudden, after 2 quick threes and 2 free throws, the lead has been cut to 3. How do the Gryphons respond? Hudson with some energy to Ing Stewart. Back to Hudson. Driving, spinning, going up with a nice move, but it's rejected by Henry. It's a pinball machine. Who gets the ball? It's Escobiñas now on the fast break. She's pushing it. Morocco from the other wing. That one's a little short, but an offensive rebound by Angeles. But the pass by Angeles is no good, and the ball ends up with Hudson. A lot of bumping, but the refs say it's all good. Gryphons retain possession. Hand off to Coughlin. A nice behind-the-back move. Little pass to Ing Stewart, and that's one too strong from deep. Now Burnett pushing the ball to Angeles. Long 2-point. She likes that long jump shot. Doesn't make that one. And after a ricochet, the ball stays with the Dolphins. One of the first inbounds plays of the game. Escobiñas looking to trigger it in. As the Dolphins spread out, but everybody's covered. Ooh, a long pass to the, almost the back court. Goes to Morocco. Covered by Coughlin. Looking for that low post pass. Darby comes in with a rejection, but Morocco gets a rebound and kicks it out to Escobiñas. Oh, shoots it. It rolls out. Angeles now. Fight for the ball, deflection. And the ball somehow stays with the Dolphins. As the Dolphins get a couple of field goal attempts. They don't make any, and coach calls timeout. And I forgot to mention, but these are some of the first minutes of the season for Darby Staten. She was previously injured, is now back, fully healthy. You love to see it. At this point in the season, you often worry about injuries and players missing games. It's always nice to see one come back. And the Gryphons could definitely use a post presence, some extra rebounding. And Staten gets a nice block there, but unfortunately it doesn't result in Gryphons' ball. We've got another inbounds from below the basket. And you'll see that the Dolphins line up on the four corners of the paint pretty much every time. And of course, as soon as I say that, they try something new. A little more spread out this time. Two players back to back. A deflection. Dolphins keep it. Now it's Shaler to Escobiñas, who looks to the coach to see what the play call is. Gets a screen from Henry. Escobiñas driving. Scooping it up, but it's too strong. Morocco on the rebound, though. Angeles driving baseline, but that's a shot clock violation because the ball never hit the rim. The shot clock kept running. And it went off before it could hit the rim again. So that's Gryphons' ball. Gryphons still with a 3-point lead. Gryphons haven't scored in a few minutes. Looking to do so on this possession. Ball goes to Staten. She loses the handle, and Henry picks it up, gives it to Escobiñas, pushes it to Shaler, who surveys the court to the corner to Angeles. Now to the low post, Henry. Staten all over it, and that's a jump ball. Love to see it. Great defense by Staten. Good hands. And honestly, impressive to not foul there. Very easy to reach in, but she had all ball. Shaler on the wing, spins, hands it off to Morocco, who dribbles into the paint, scoops it with the right hand, but it's short. Staten all over the rebound by Henry, but Henry puts it in. 30 seconds left in the half. 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. You'd think Gryphons would want to take their time. Coughlin driving, midi jumping. Oh, and that. Welcome back to the broadcast. My sincere apologies there. I know we lost the broadcast for a good part of that second quarter. I'll be honest with you, laptop decided to auto update. Couldn't do anything about it. Lost the stream. But all is good and well. It is fully updated. So this is the freshest version of Windows we're working with. Maybe that improves the stream quality. I don't know. I'm hoping it does. But again, my apologies for missing the second, I think half of the second quarter, or maybe most of the second quarter there. To summarize, the Sarah Lawrence Gryphons went on a little bit of a run. It was 19-20, but then they extended that lead all the way up to 19-31. So went on an 11-point run there. And then the Dolphins answered. And it was a bit of a back and forth. A couple of fast breaks to end the half. And actually a buzzer beater by Julia Angelis. A long 2 to cut the lead to 9. As it stands, Sarah Lawrence Gryphons, 35. The Mount St. Vincent Dolphins have 26. As we have 2 minutes until we'll start the second half. So, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the Sarah Lawrence Gryphons are on a historic run. They have already won 7 games. In no season prior have they won more than 6, and they are already at 7, looking to make that 8 today. In this matchup, the Sarah Lawrence Gryphons have lost every single game they played previously. These teams have faced each other 14 times, and Mount St. Vincent has won all 14. This is probably the best opportunity for the Gryphons to break that streak as they are up by 9, starting the second half. Your leading scorers are Ashley Morocco for the Mount St. Vincent Dolphins with 10, a pair of three-pointers, and a couple of layups. And Sarah Terrio back at the top of the scoring sheet with 13 at the moment. Gabby Hudson behind her with 9. As we are set to start the second half, it should be a good one. Dolphins to inbound. As the buzzer rings through the gym, here we go. Escobiñas picks up her dribble. Now she's in trouble. Can't find a teammate. And there, a straight pass. And within seconds, Gryphons force a turnover. Escobiñas was looking for a pass, but her teammate didn't see her, so she picked up her dribble instead, but couldn't find a teammate. Now, Coughlin on the wing. Oh, a straight pass intended for Gabby Hudson. Angelis on the fast break, but Hudson is as quick as they come. But she fouls her as Angelis goes up. So Angelis will shoot 2. Hudson trying to recover after the pass was intercepted from Colleen Coughlin, intended for Hudson. Now Angelis at the line. Too strong on the first. Colleen Coughlin hanging back in the front court as all the other Gryphons are set to rebound. As Angelis rattles home the second. Lead cut to 8. Hudson driving to Terry on the wing, who dribbles, drives, hands it off to Dortch, but who just couldn't quite get 2 hands on it. Then tried to keep it in bounds, but didn't quite manage. And it is Dolphins ball under the basket. The Gryphons set to bring some full court pressure here. Can they force a turnover? Ball goes back to Morocco, the inbounder, now to Angelis. Quickly to Ligon. My apologies. I was rightfully informed that number 25, the last name is Ligon, not Lejon. My apologies for mispronouncing that name prior. It was not on the pronunciation guide, but that is on me. Angeles set to inbound. Looking for a teammate. Doesn't find one. Morocco can't catch the ball. And it's another turnover for the Dolphins. The Dolphins, who do struggle sometimes with the amount of turnovers, already had 14 in the first half. Had another to start and another one right there. Hudson making a move on Escobiñas. 2 screens set for Hudson. Backdoor to Terrio. Nice move. Goes up. Ball's poked free. Finds its way to Ing Stewart on the wing. Little to the right. Tough rebound. Finds its way to Hudson, who goes up. Draws the foul. And that's 2 shots for Hudson. A little bit of pinball action there, resulting in free throws for the Gryphons. First one rattles out as Hudson is now 1 for 4 from the line today. Trying to make her second. She splits the pair, extends the lead, back to 9. Angeles with the fake to Ligon, to Escobiñas, who's looking at Dortch, seeing a big defender, and Hudson pokes it away from Green. And those are the easiest 2 points as she will get all evening. 11-point lead for the Gryphons. Ligon lining one up, little to the left. Coughlin, more like Toughlin, as she grabs that rebound. A strong rebound, and makes sure nobody else gets her hands on it, forcing the foul. That was the only way to get to the ball. It's exactly like you teach it. 2 hands over the ball, wrestling it free. Gryphons seeing if they can pull away officially from the Dolphins. Terrio gets the screen. Doesn't take the screen, drives instead. Coughlin drives herself, little floater, rattles off, and it's Angeles with the rebound. Looking to push, but instead they slow it down. Burnett now to the wing. Morocco is open. She's a shooter. That one's a little too long though, but Henry gets the rebound and draws the foul on the putback. And Henry will go to the line. Henry, the 5'11" freshman from Westchester, New York, went to Sacred Heart, Greenwich. First one gets the friendly bounce. Cuts the lead to 10. Henry drains the second. Now 4 for 8 from the free throw line on the season. Coach Rather calling checkers. And the Gryphons are the only ones that know what that means. Hudson goes up, a little too strong on the floater. Now the Dolphins back on attack. A little layoff to Green and a simple layup. Terrio was trying to poke it free, couldn't quite get to the ball. And Green with some of the easiest points on the night for her. Ing Stewart, one-on-one with Angeles. Gives it up to Coughlin. Morocco holding her hand up. She knows Coughlin can shoot that ball. Baseline pass to Ing Stewart. Now a midi from Terrio. Little short. Green with the rebound. And Burnett bringing up the floor. Quick pass, but the layup is no good from Morocco. That was an incisive pass. But the Dolphins couldn't convert. Now Hudson quickly. And they call an offensive foul Burnett went to the ground. Hudson wrapped around before the pass. But in doing so, made contact with Burnett. Refs call it an offensive foul. Gryphons not bringing the full court press this time, as they weren't able to convert the press into points. Now opting for a half-court set. Burnett poking, prodding, now driving on Spinopoulos. A long two from Henry, as that one rolls in. Lead now cut to 5. Are the Gryphons in trouble? Dortch rejects, gives the screen. Coughlin rejects the screen. Rebound to Spinopoulos. Ing Stewart from deep. Rattles out. Out to Coughlin. Little fake. Midi. She does like that shot. Ing Stewart with the putback. Tough rebound. And putback. She's done that a couple of times this game. But before you know it, the ball is down the court. Henry going up and draws the foul. Coach Rather was hoping for some better defensive transition there. And now in discussion with the ref. Can't quite hear what they were talking about, but Henry drains the first. Now 3 for 3 from the line today. Second one rims out. Terrio now bringing the ball up. Nice behind the back. That is good ball control to evade the double team. Terrio gets it right back in the corner. Now backing down Green. That's a tough take. And all the Dolphins could do was foul her. There was no other option. It was either a likely bucket or a foul as Terrio went for the hook shot. Sarah Terrio, the 5'9" freshman from Maine. And an impressive freshman at that, winning multiple awards already. Leading the team in 17 points a game, 5.8 rebounds a game. And she leads the team in steals with 23 on the season. Now, Angeles on the wing. They're leaving her open for that shot. And this time she drains it. The long two to cut the lead right back to 6. Coughlin dribbling the ball up. Now the new field general as Hudson's on the bench. Terrio driving, spinning, picks up her dribble. Pass to Coughlin, little floater, bunny shot. And Ing Stewart with another offensive rebound. She always knows where to be. The kick to Coughlin for 3. Little strong. Angeles with the rebound. Looking for the long pass again to Green. She gets it, but doesn't have the opportunity to go up immediately. Now Burnett looking to drive. Can't quite manage with Ing Stewart. Ing Stewart now picking up Morocco. Morocco loves that wing shot. That one's a little long. And after a little flip by Angeles, Burnett has the ball. Burnett asking her teammates to get in position. Angeles gets the screen from Henry, who now receives the ball, gets the little bunny right as the shot clock was expiring. And we have a 4-point game on our hands. Coughlin driving, inside pass to Dortch, and it's rejected by Henry. The long arms coming in useful there as Henry receives the long pass from Morocco. She can't go up. Looking for the pass to Burnett. Burnett not risking it against Dortch. And after a deflection, the ball will stay with the Dolphins, now under the basket. How do the Dolphins line up for this inbounds? They'll go on all four corners of the paint. And even though the formation is the same often for the Dolphins, doesn't mean the play itself is the same. They'll spread out in different ways depending on what the coaches call. At the moment, looks like the refs are in discussion. That is what this delay, they're talking to Coach Maria Di Domenico about something. A little too far away to hear what. Maria Di Domenico, coach who led this team to a conference championship 2 years ago, who won Coach of the Year 2 years ago. Last year, couldn't quite make it to the championship, but did upset Manhattanville. And this year, struggling a little bit more. 2-8 on the season. 1-5 in conference play. They've been plagued with injuries. They've also lost some of their impressive players from previous seasons. With a next man up mentality. And Coach Maria Di Domenico said that her goal now is to improve by 1% each month, relying on that exponential growth, hopefully, if the team does improve 1% each month. And the Dolphins are sure putting up a fight tonight. They lost to John Jay earlier this week by 13 points. But they're looking to nab a win on the road here. Henry in the post, tough move. Cuts the lead to 2. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a game on our hands with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Terrio out to Hudson. Ball pressure from Burnett. Out to Staten. In the corner, Terrio, who spins. Hudson. Drive. That's a strong drive. A little bit of contact, but not a foul. And it's the Dolphins on the fast break. Green rolls one up and ties the game at 42. All of a sudden, the Dolphins make a run in the third quarter. Can the Gryphons respond? Screen from Staten. Coughlin looking for the midi jumper. Doesn't take it. Hudson to Ing Stewart. Little step back from Ing Stewart. That's some nice technique. Strong rebound from Staten to keep the ball alive for the Gryphons. Now a midi jumper from Hudson. That's pure. And now a timeout from the Gryphons. Looks to be a full timeout. You see the refs extend their arms in both directions, sign for the full timeout. Players that are on the court actually get a chance to sit down, as opposed to when it's a 30-second timeout. And you can just hear the energy from the Dolphins, the bench, getting in it, making their presence known. Coach Rather discussing what the plan is. As Sarah Lawrence might have been hoping for a easier game than this. They might have been hoping to be up by more at this point, given the strong run they were on. But, you know, new year, new things can happen. And it's their first game back off of break. Got to get back into the swing of things, whereas the Dolphins already had a game 3 days ago. Perhaps they're fresh. and warmed up. Either way, it's a 2-point game as the Dolphins inbound. Escobiñas stuck in a bit of a trap. Finds Morocco, who finds Henry. There's now a drive, but Ing Stewart with a great recovery to make sure Henry doesn't get an easy layup. Now Coughlin defending, now Ing Stewart defending Angeles in the corner. Angeles spins, but the layup too strong. And on the rebound, there's a foul. Foul on Terrio. They're at 4 fouls in the quarter. From now on, fouls will result in 2 free throws. Hudson setting up the play. We got Staten at the free throw line. Now going to the low block. Swing pass all the way over to Hudson with a little floater. That is her shot, but that one's too short. As Escobiñas brings it back. Sarah Lawrence looking to be in a 2-3 zone here. Henry with the shot, feeling herself. That one doesn't bank in. Green going up. Darby Staten fouling her as Green goes up. Staten keeping her hands up, trying to indicate that she thought she went up straight, but the refs disagreed. And it's 2 shots for Green. First shot, nothing but net. Nylia Green, who is the team's leading scorer with 9.9 points a game. She's a 43% free throw shooter on the season. Splits the pair. Terrio on the quick rebound, fires it away to Ing Stewart, but she wasn't looking at the ball. Not quite in sync there. And that's another turnovers for the Gryphons. A little bit of a gift. You'll see the Gryphons now in a 2-3 zone. 2 players more at the top. 3 along the baseline. Not matching up by man, but they find an open Morocco who loves to shoot threes, and she drains another. A quick overhead pass to an open Morocco leads to the first lead of the 3rd quarter for the Dolphins, and Ing Stewart gives it up to Morocco. It's fired away to Escobiñas, and the layup's too strong, and on the rebound, they foul Terrio. Somehow, the Dolphins find their way back in this game, and not only back, but in the lead. But, as I mentioned before, every foul now will result in 2 free throws. Terrio misses the first. Terrio is 76% free throw shooter, leads the team. And cuts the Dolphins' lead to 1. 44 seconds left in the 3rd. Escobiñas and the Dolphins going to delay this shot to give the Gryphons as little time as possible on the final possession of the 3rd quarter. They look for the inside pass. It's poked away, and here goes Terrio. Can she go all the way? It's poked free from her, but nobody else touches it. So the ball stays with the Gryphons under the basket. The Gryphons also on all 4 corners of the paint. They spread out. Terrio was wide open there for a second. Ball finds its way to Hudson. Staten from the corner, and that's good! Darby Staten in her first game of the season drills an important long 2-pointer. Now Gryphons with 1-point lead. 4 seconds left in the quarter. Do they know they have enough time? It's poked. And after a couple of deflections, the ball will stay with the Dolphins, but they only have 0.8 seconds left. As Coach Rather subs the entire team for this one possession to make sure that they don't score. Is this an effective strategy? Everybody's fresh off of the bench. Morocco has enough time to launch it, but that's wide left off the backboard. And boy, oh boy, do we have a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. The Gryphons now with a 1-point lead after they were leading by 9 at the half. The Mount St. Vincent Dolphins won that quarter by 8 points. Leaving us with a very interesting fourth quarter left to come. This is the point where the adjustments come in. Both teams have seen the other team play. They've seen the game plans. They've seen who has the hot hand. For the Dolphins, it's been Morocco and Henry. Two players that haven't gotten a lot of playing time this season, or not as much as the starters at least. But showing up today, as it appears that Grace Kennedy, one of the top scorers for the Dolphins, exited the game early on and hasn't returned since. Like I was saying earlier, it's that next person up mentality. Henry and Morocco taking their opportunity and making the most of it. But in the end, what matters is what happens in the next 10 minutes here. Can the Gryphons break the 14-game losing streak against the Mount St. Vincent Dolphins? As a fan, as a basketball player, these are the moments that you dream about. Close game. Ooh, a no-look pass, but Escobinas read it, and Dolphins are on the quick transition. Escobinas thinking about a three-pointer and said, opts for the floater, and it drops. Dolphins now up by 1. Can the Gryphons respond? Ing Stewart on the wing to Hudson. Screen from Dortch, opening up a jumper, and it's good. Ing Stewart, hello. Now the Gryphons are back up by 1. Back and forth we go. Escobinas pointing to her teammates, as she often does. The field general of the team, off to Morocco on the wing. This time they don't let her shoot that three. It's a floater from Morocco instead. That one wide right. And once again, Terrio is fouled off of the rebound. By my count, that's the third time in a row that Terrio has gotten a defensive rebound and immediately got clattered by a Mount St. Vincent Dolphin, who are understandably fighting for the rebound, but got to say they're also unnecessary fouls that could play a role at the end of this quarter. Ing Stewart poking, prodding, laying it off to Terrio. Now Dortch. Cross-court pass to Coughlin. Jab step. Inside pass to Terrio. That's where she likes to work. Back out to Coughlin. Lines one up. And that rattles away. Henry with the rebound. Those three-point shots not quite falling for the Gryphons today. Might have to do it a different way. Now back to man-on-man defense, or woman-on-woman defense. Hudson on Escobinas, and Ing Stewart with great pass protection. Cutting into passing lanes, making sure that ball doesn't arrive at Henry. And it's yet another foul for the Dolphins. As we aren't 2 minutes into the fourth, and they've already got 2 fouls. Ing Stewart, wide open. Passes it inside to Dortch, to Hudson, who lines one up. And that one rims out. Hudson hasn't made a three-pointer this season. Now it's the Dolphins' turn. What can they cook up? There's movement off the ball, hand off to Morocco. But Terrio with a lot of ball pressure, so much ball pressure, in fact, she couldn't help but Fowler bumped. And the Dolphins will inbound from the sideline. Angeles inbounds it to McLean. It's a screen from Green. A strong screen. I was about to say it seemed like she was moving. Refs agree. And that's an offensive foul. That's the third already for the Dolphins. A little bit of extra ball pressure here from Escobiñas as the Griffins inbound, but a quick move from Hudson, who is speedy on her feet. Oh, inside pass to Terrio, but immediately surrounded by 3 players. They know she can score. Not giving her anything easy. Back out to Hudson, who drives, midi jump shot. That is what she does. It rolls home, and the Griffins extend the lead by 3. Long court pass to Morocco. Low post, Green versus Dortch. But before she goes up, she shuffled her feet. Refs call a travel, and that's a turnover for the Dolphins. Griffins catch a little bit of a break. Have the chance to extend their lead. Bit of a risky pass to Coughlin, but she catches it. Bit of a risky pass back to Hudson, but she catches it. And lays it off to Sarah Terrio, who is cash money from the corner. Now lead back up to 5. Energy back in the gym. McLean driving. Is anybody there? Oh! A clattering. Got a little ahead of myself. I was sure hoping that that was a clean block. Refs say there was a bit too much contact on that one. And let's hope that McLean is okay as the coaches are looking at her. She's tilting her head up. And the players will huddle in the meantime. McLean has to leave the courts. She was attended by the trainers. So it will likely be a different free throw shooter. Because if I am correct, by rule, McLean has to leave the game, at least temporarily. Both coaches discussing what comes next. Coach Rather drawing up a play. Coach Rather, one of the few bar-certified coaches in college basketball. A somewhat interesting route to his coaching career. Went to Columbia Journalism School, then on to Harvard Law School. Worked as an attorney for a year at Cravath, Swain & Moore. And then decided, you know what? This coaching thing, let's do it. So he is now coaching the Sarah Lawrence women's basketball team. And of course, he's been coaching in the meantime. I'm making it seem like the only thing he did prior was law, but no. he started in his college days coaching a high school girls varsity team who, in fact, did not have a gym at the time. They didn't have a home gym to practice. They went to YMCAs. They went to wherever they could find a court. The team had not won, I think, a single game or maybe one game the season prior. He turned that ship around and made it all the way to the playoffs. Something almost straight out of a movie. And then from there, while he was in law school, mind you, because, you know, law school is not busy enough, he started coaching the Leslie Lynx, Cambridge University, a team that had also struggled in the past. And he turned that ship around, going from a one-win season all the way to the finals in the playoffs. They won a playoff game, and they had more wins than in the 6 seasons prior. So if there's one thing you can say about Coach Rather, it's that he likes to turn ships around. And Sarah Lawrence, mind you, is not a team that went winless last year. But still, he has already turned this ship around somewhat, as no matter what happens in the rest of the season, the Sarah Lawrence Gryphons, this team, this Sarah Lawrence Gryphons, will end with the most in program history. To be able to say that this early into the season is impressive. Now, there's been a long discussion here, and the refs are finally, they reviewed it. They're calling it just a personal foul. They think they were reviewing whether it was a flagrant foul or not, as there was a bit of a clattering. But I think they rightfully concluded that Hudson was truly going for the ball, probably hit mostly ball, and so they just leave it at a personal foul. Now Morocco drains the first. And she drains the second. He is having a good shooting night. The lead now cut down to 3. Hudson to Terrio. Splits 2 defenders. Picks up her dribble, but shuffles the feet. As the Dolphins are packing the paint now, making it difficult for Terrio to get an easy bucket. She deftly split those 2 defenders, but there were 2 more waiting for her, so she picked up her dribble. And now, as the Dolphins take the ball in, the shot clock did not start. Refs blow their whistle, and the clock is now set to 26. And the Dolphins inbound again. Still 3-point lead for the Gryphons. Escobiñas hands it off to Morocco. Dribble, drive, inside pass, but very smart poke by Coughlin, who saves the Gryphons from conceding an easy layup. Green saw nothing but the basket, but Colleen Coughlin in between with her hands. Oh, Colleen Coughlin going for the offensive foul draw, but quickly Dortch finds her way with a big outlet pass. Terrio goes up, but somehow Escobiñas gets her hands on the ball. And now on the other hand, on the other side of things, Terrio wanting to return the favor. And I think she almost did, but then there was a clattering. As the refs also give a warning to the Gryphons. I think there may have been some talk to the refs, and it resulted in a warning. Don't take my word for that. Anyways, end result, Ing Stewart inbounding it for the Gryphons. Here we go. 6 minutes left in the fourth. 3-point game. Ing Stewart to Dortch, who chooses to dribble, hands it off to Terrio. Beautiful pass. Okay, Terrio drops it home. 5-point lead for the Gryphons. Now the Dolphins need to respond. Energy from the Gryphons bench. Nice spin from Burnett. Long two for Green. That's a bit strong, but a tough rebound for Escobiñas, one of the smaller players on the court, who goes up, and then after the offensive rebound by Green, yet another travel. And the ball goes to the Gryphons. Now the turn to Ing Stewart to dribble the ball up, and they leave a lane open for Terrio, but then they clog it back up. Hudson poking, prodding, Ing Stewart handing it off to Terrio, who hands it now off to Dortch, returning the favor from the last possession. Last one, Dortch to Terrio. This one, Terrio to Dortch. As the Dolphins need a timeout to talk things over. Gryphons extending the lead back out to 7. They have found an antidote to this defense. The Dolphins attempting to clog up that lane. The Gryphons drawing the defenders towards them with a drive. And as soon as they bite, then dumping it off to their colleague, resulted in the last 2 buckets. Quick 4 points for the Gryphons, mean a 7-point lead. Now, importantly, the Dolphins already at 4 personal fouls this quarter. So, for the remaining portion of this game, every single foul or every ball foul will result in free throws. As the teams come back from the timeout. Burnett set to inbound. Burnett, one of the few players not from the East Coast on the Mount St. Vincent team from Plano, Texas. Escobiñas. Looking for the inside pass to Angeles. And on the second pass, Terrio intercepts and gets fouled once again. Seems like every time Terrio gets the ball on the defensive end, within a few seconds, she's fouled. And like I just said, personal fouls at this point for the Dolphins will result in 2 free throws. Terrio drains the first. Always a bit of added pressure when it's a close game in the fourth. Can you keep your cool? Can you keep your focus? Second one is a bit short. There's a bit of a hustle for the rebound, but Escobiñas comes out with the ball. Forward to Burnett. Morocco lining one up again. That one rattles out. Coughlin now pushing it for the Gryphons to Terrio. 3-on-1 to Hudson, who pump fakes mid-air as Henry was coming in. But that pump fake made it a little too hard of a shot. And now quick passing on the other side. And Henry gets the and one. Hudson called on the foul. She doesn't quite understand. It didn't look like she was going towards Henry, and that's probably why she's a little confused, but there was enough contact there for the refs to call a foul. And now Henry with the extra point from the charity stripe, but it's no good. Terrio with a quick rebound, outlet to Coughlin. Coughlin slowing things down, taking their time. They're up by 6 now. They don't want to give, many opportunities to the Dolphins, but there, Morocco pokes one free from Dortch. It's a turnover for the Gryphons. Burnett open shot in the paint, but she misses a little too strong. Escobillas with another poke. And that's a steal for the Dolphins. Back and forth we go. Now it's the turn for the Dolphins to slow things down. Line up one of their plays. Now Ligon to Morocco. Burnett on the wing. Finds that inside pass to Ligon. Now to Henry. That midi jumper, no good. Way too short. And on the rebound, once again. They've been calling it every single time. This time it's Burnett's turn. And it's Spinopoulos to the free throw line, with a chance to extend the lead to 8. Spinopoulos drains the first. The senior from Jamaica, New York. Cool and calm under pressure. You can tell she wants the ball. Second one a little too, mind you, gets the friendly bounce. I almost thought it rattled right out. 8-point lead for the Gryphons. Here we go. Burnett calling for Escobillas. Gets the screen from Ligon. Ari Spinopoulos trying to poke one free, but also gets some contact on the reach, and it's a foul. That's the 4th team foul for the Gryphons. So now every Gryphons foul will result in free throws for the Dolphins, but not this one. Inbounding from the side is Morocco. Escobillas gets the helpful screen from Henry. Sideways move. And it's a reach, a bump, a foul on Escobillas. And as I just mentioned, fouls now result in free throws automatically. Escobillas to shoot 2. Escobillas focused, also cool, calm, and collected in the 4th quarter. Some good free throw shooting on both ends of the court. Both teams not cracking under the pressure. 6-point game. Coughlin behind the back to Terrio, to Spinopoulos. It's a screen from Dortch. Goes baseline, Green on her, the bigger body, and a bit of a clattering, but refs say not a foul. Quick pass forward. Ligon has the ball. They call a foul. Looks to be on the Gryphons. Yes, Ing Stewart called on the foul as there was a bit of a tussle for the rebound. Ligon got the rebound, and Ing Stewart fouled her. Jim, as quiet as a mouse during that first free throw. You can feel the tension building. 5-point game, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Second free throw. Ligon Doesn't make the second. Terrio with yet another board and yet another outlet. Here goes Coughlin. Cross-court pass to Ing Stewart. Fakes the three-pointer. Pokes, prods, spins, goes up. Tough shot. Didn't quite get it to go. And after a tip, it's Dolphins ball. 2-possession game. Taylor, Ligon going up and gets fouled again. Dortch this time commits the crime. 2 shots for Ligon. The crowd quiets down again. Second time that it's a bit too strong. Gryphons getting a bit lucky here because this is a 90% free throw shooter who now missed 2 in a row. On the second. Bounces out. Terrio with the rebound. Getting deja vu. Outlet to Coughlin. Reach from Escobiñas. Doesn't get the ball. Coughlin to Spinopoulos. But she telegraphs the pass. And Escobiñas is right there, but Spinopoulos gets the ball right back. And there's a bit of a pinball action. An avalanche of human bodies results in Ing Stewart fast break. And you know, when Ing Stewart's on the fast break, it's money. It's going to be a bucket. 7-point lead for the Gryphons. Bench letting their presence be known. Spinopoulos lets Escobiñas by, but a rebound from for Ing Stewart. Outlet to Coughlin. Potential 2-on-1 here. Quick pass to Terrio, and there you go. All of a sudden, that's what the Gryphons can do to you. This offense can score at will sometimes. Gryphons pushing the pace. Quick pass from Coughlin to Terrio. Terrio banks it home, extends the lead to 9, which hopefully for the Gryphons is comfortable enough to put this game away with 1 minute and 17 seconds left. An understandable timeout. Maria Di Domenico with a passionate plea to her players. You can hear it all the way from here, egging her players on. She can feel the possibility, the opportunity for what you might say is a bit of an upset, given how this season has progressed. But the Gryphons now pulling away a little bit. Can they retain that lead? They're putting the pressure on. Coach Rather saying, we're not going to sit back in these last seconds of the game. Morocco finds her way to Shaler. Shaler, it's tip ball, and there you go. It's Terrio with yet another tip. This one resulting in a steal. That's why she leads the team in steals. Active hands, always looking for an opportunity to get a turnover. She gets a turnover there. Coughlin evades Escobiñas very quickly with a deft drop of the shoulder there because she knew Escobiñas wanted to foul her. And by evading her, milks just a second or so more off the clock. And instead, Morocco fouls her. Coughlin at the line. First one is good. 10-point lead. Can Coughlin make it 11? Second one a little bit short. 1 minute to go. Go ahead pass Morocco. They're going to have to heave threes. And that one drops. The Dolphins cut the lead to 7. There's a bit of a conversation over what happened after. I think Angeles might have touched the ball. after it went in. Is that what the discussion was? Also looks like timeout, 30-second timeout here. And since we're under 1 minute, that timeout will advance the ball for the Gryphons. Talking things over. 7 points. 3-possession game with 53 seconds. Most likely, you'd think that the Dolphins are either first going to try to get a steal, put some pressure on the inbounder, cut those passing lanes. But if the Gryphons are successful in inbounding the ball, they'll foul as quickly as possible, not letting time run out. Because what the Gryphons would love to do is hold the ball for 30 seconds, right down to 23 seconds, take a shot at the 23-second mark, but Dolphins probably will not allow that. Yep. And after the discussion by the refs, so the previous actually wasn't a timeout. It was the refs looking something over, but Coach Rather wants to advance the ball. So now it's an official timeout. Back-to-back breaks here at the Sarah Lawrence campus, Campbell Sports Center. And we're drawing up plays again. Perhaps Maria DiDomenico had a defense in mind that was for the full court press. This time she'll have to defend a half-court inbounds play. Ing Stewart trying to steward this game home for the Gryphons. She's the inbounder. Spinopoulos, Coughlin, Terrio, Dortch. The players on the court. Ball goes to Terrio. She just waits until Ligon comes to foul her. Pretty much exactly the way you draw that up. Get it to what is perhaps your best free throw shooter, at least percentage-wise on the season so far. And just hold the ball and wait. Take a little bit of time off the clock. And hopefully extend this lead to 9. First one, a bit short. Crowd. Cheering her on, wanting her to make the second, and she does. Nothing but net. Immediate timeout now from the Dolphins. And welcome everybody to Timeout Central. It is the last minute of the basketball game, but if you thought this minute would last a single minute, you'd be mistaken. Both sides trading a lot of timeouts here, and this probably won't stop until they're out of timeouts. Because now Maria DiDomenico wants to do exactly the same thing that Coach Rather did, and that's advance the ball forward so they don't waste any time in the backcourt. No shenanigans with a full court press. Now the question is just, can we inbound it on the half court and get a quick shot? You'd think they'd go for a three. Morocco, the prime target for a three as she goes under 2 screens. She, in fact, gets that opportunity, but the first one's too strong, and it bounces off of the top scaffolding, which is an automatic out of bounds, and the ball goes to the Gryphons. A quick shot, only a couple of seconds off of the game clock there. But since Morocco couldn't get it to go, the Gryphons will get the ball with an 8-point lead. And like I said, we are in timeout central here. Gryphons now taking another timeout so they can advance the ball. So if you wanted to get that cup of tea, I'd almost say that this is the best time to do it, but you never know. It's quick action here. A couple of seconds can make the difference. And before you know it, they're back on the court. Sarah Terrio with 20 points on the game. Ing Stewart not far behind with 19. Giving the team that final burst at the end of the game here in the fourth quarter, right when they needed it. Right when they needed it. And you'd think an 8-point lead with possession, 50 seconds left. Gryphons sure hope to convert as they spread out, get the ball right back to Terrio. This feels like Groundhog Day. Inbound to the same spot, to the same person. Yet another foul. And the same result, 2 free throws for Terrio. That play apparently lasted 1.4 seconds. Terrio short on the first again. She's had a couple short free throws here. With that head tilt, you can tell she knows it. But on the second, it rattles out. And this is truly Groundhog Day because it's yet another timeout. This one for the Dolphins as they now have the ball in pretty much the exact same situation. Half court set, half court inbound, 8-point deficit for them, but just, let's say, 6 seconds less on the game clock. Now, will they draw up the same play? They did get Morocco open on the last possession, under 2 screens at the top of the key, but you can almost tell that Morocco likes the wing 3 the most. That's the one where she's the most proficient. The last one just a little too deep. Perhaps she overcompensated because it was a deep 3 and it was just a little too strong off the back rim. Escobinas, also a very good 3-point shooter. Might be a target here. Maybe even use one or the other as a decoy. And then there's another philosophy that you just go for the quick 2 because the Gryphons might be anticipating a 3, making a 2-point layup perhaps easier. But here we go. Morocco looking for that corner 3 now, and that one splashes home. Nothing but net. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point game. Exactly like the coach drew it up. Maria DiDomenico has to be happy with the execution on that play. And we're at yet another discussion. Importantly, looking at the clock, because the clock is everything right now. Clock is everything. 43 seconds left. A lot can happen. You might say, oh, a couple of tenths here, a couple of tenths there, who cares? But as you saw with how quickly Morocco drained that 3, a couple of tenths can make the difference. Will they make the difference here? So now, even though I said it was timeout central, this not actually a timeout, but it feels like one. As the refs essentially say that they wanted a quick timeout to talk things over, review what happened, see what the right time should be. They say 44.5 seconds left in the game. Terrio to inbounds. Spinopoulos, Coughlin, and Stewart and Dortch on the floor. Konopoulos getting a screen. Coughlin getting the ball. Ooh, nice little behind the back to get it across court. Terrio, 1-2. There you go. Extending the lead right back to 7. Now Escobiñas has to push the ball. Nice little crossover, going for the drive. Ing Stewart's there, and they say Ing Stewart fouled. Escobiñas did get the step on her, so Ing Stewart in a tough position to recover. She tried to recover nonetheless. Refs say there was enough contact for a foul. Escobiñas to the charity stripe. Kendall Stevens and Darby Staten enter the game. And Sam Pape. Coach Rather opting to go big here. Perhaps wanting to ensure that they get this rebound. And rebounds to come. Escobiñas. Second one, no good, and Dortch fell to the floor. And they say she touched it last, so the ball stays with the Dolphins. Yes, Angela seemed hurt, but then quickly told her bench that she was fine. She can walk it out. She does not want to be subbed at this crucial moment of the game. Now, Dolphins 6-point deficit. Inbound under the basket. Pape, and Kendall Stevens steals the ball. And she picks it up. And they call it foul or a timeout. Which came first? Which came first? Refs say foul. And Coach Rather isn't too displeased by that. Because foul in this situation means 2 free throws for Kendall Stevens. 6-point game. Can she make it 8? Dribble, shot. It rattles home, and you can hear the crowd. Bit of a sigh of relief because a 7-point game means it's a 3-possession game. A lot harder to come back. And it's a 3-possession game. Now, 8-point difference, 20 seconds left. Schuler to Morocco from the corner. Way too strong. Airmailed that one right to Terrio. Little smile on the face. She gets fouled, and another opportunity to add to her point tally. Almost gleeful to go to the free throw line here, understandably. So with 14 seconds left, 8-point difference. You gotta think, I don't want to jinx anything, but you got to think this one is safe for the Gryphons. Coach Rather puts in Perry Yoon, the senior from California. A couple of extra minutes. I say minutes, it's really 14 seconds left, but Perry Yoon known for her cross-country running. She won medals. And for her defense, but Terrio hits the second, 10-point lead, 13 seconds left. It should be over, but Morocco gonna give it a go. Long 3, no good. It rattles away out of bounds, and the Gryphons have the ball. And you can maybe even tell by the relief in my voice. This one should be secured. Terrio has the ball. They don't even foul her now. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The Gryphons come away with a 10-point win, the first ever win against the Mount St. Vincent Dolphins, snapping a 14-game losing streak in this matchup. An important conference win. Perhaps it was a little closer than the Gryphons would have hoped, given how well the season has been going for the Gryphons and how the Dolphins have been a touch lackluster. But it's a win nonetheless, a 10-point win at that. And some of the final stats, Terrio with yet another impressive game, 24 points. many rebounds. Many rebounds. And she might even come to join us on the interview because that was a very impressive game. And then we have Ing Stewart with 19, not far behind. Some important offensive rebounds to clean things up, make sure the team stayed in the game. But in the end, it was an all-around team effort. It was nervy at times, but I mean, as a fan, you love to see it. You love to see it. The closer the game, higher the adrenaline. In a couple of minutes, we'll get a Griffin of the game here to join us. I'll ask them a couple of questions. But in case you leave us, I hope you have a fantastic evening. I hope you enjoyed this game. And, oh, wait, Sarah Terrio is coming up right now already. She's a quick one. Here we go. You can tell she's spent. We'll ask her a couple of questions. Sarah Terrio, how are you doing? So here's the headset. It's already unmuted for you. So a little bit of a nervy game there, perhaps. How did it feel when it was tied pretty late on?
It was definitely pretty stressful. I mean, I know that we could pull it out, but there were times that we were just overcomplicating it, overpassing maybe, or just making the wrong decision. But I knew if we had to crash the boards, once we did that, everything kind of just flowed after that.
Flowed after that. Yeah. And 24 points, how do you do it every time?
Gosh, I could have had more if I hit my free throws, but just rebounding. I mean, I think a lot of my points are off second chance opportunities or just cuts. I mean, it's never like a 1v1 game. Like, I don't think I had points on a 1v1. Like, it was always my teammates getting it to me, finding me. So I have to give it to my teammates that are getting me the ball.
There was some good passing, indeed. And how would you describe the team's play style?
I would say unselfish. I think we're all really happy to play together. I mean, we have gotten to know each other more now that it's second semester. Like, we know each other's play styles. We're finding each other, knowing where we are. So I think everything's starting to click. So hopefully we can keep it up second half of the season.
Sure, I hope you keep it up, and I'll let you celebrate with the rest of the team.
Of course.
Impressive performance. Yeah. Glad to bring it home.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the broadcast for the day as Terrio sprints back to the locker room to make sure they catch the team talk. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. My name's Pete Marston. If you didn't know who I was, well, I hope you discovered that through the broadcast. I'll be here all through January. It was my pleasure, and I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thank you.